When last we left you guys here on the darkness that surrounds us, our cursed Strahd playthrough, you guys had left the city of Daggerford on a mission for Lady Morwen Daggerford, the noble of the town, after several local farmers in the region had been slaughtered by creatures unknown, the locals rumoring about wolves and werewolves having attacked the local farms. You were headed out towards one local farm to investigate the slaughtering of a family and the kidnapping of several children, being offered 200 gold apiece to help solve the mystery and bring an end to the raids upon the local towns and farmers. When you were called by locals standing on the road to come to the Thrasher farm, a farm that was not the one you were originally headed to but had been recently attacked. You found there Robert Thrasher, the gentleman of the house, had been killed, his wife barely alive, and 9-year-old son Tommy Thrasher had apparently been taken. After reviving Miss Thrasher, she told you that they were indeed wolves that walked on 2 legs, and that they killed the livestock and attacked them and then took her son, heading off into the woods. You guys, in hot pursuit, headed outwards, following the trail as you were able to scout out the pathway until the woods became dense and thick, and nightfall set upon you, surrounded by strange mists and fog that you could not seem to dissipate, even with the destruction of water as it should have worked. You found yourself spending the night there in the deep woods, where you met up with Skylar's character, Bert Beasley of Gorkin Sons, who had been following you all, attempting to figure out the insurance claims for the missing and killed people and root out the source of for all of these claims that had been happening in the area. He met up with you all and camped out for the evening. The next day, you trekked through the woods for some distance, the treacherous fog seeming to only clear one potential path for you, until after about half the day or more had passed, you came upon a large set of gates, a giant stone edifice in the center of the path, surrounded by mountains on either side, and the trail becoming a rutted out wagon trail with pools filled with dark water, and the air becoming still and cold, the sky never reaching full sun and overcast throughout. You investigated the giant headless statues that surrounded the area, and Bert, knowing very well about art, recognized that they were foreign from some distant land, but old and not tended for at least 600-700 years or more. The gate rusted out, seemingly unattended. You passed through, investigating further, finding tracks of both wolves and wolf-like creatures, following them through the gates, looking for the source of the missing children. You, once passing through the gates, encountered immediately the smell of death upon the air. The scent of a decaying and decomposing body. You followed your nose until you found the source. There at the edge of the woods was a young man who had obviously been mauled to death, bearing with him a letter with a sealed B on it. Opening the letter, you found the letter came from somebody that was the burgomaster of a village called the village of Barovia. In the burgomaster's letter, he explained that they maybe I should just read the letter to you again, just to refresh everybody's memory, since it's been a minute. What say you?
Aye.
Hail thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kolanya, has these past nights been bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years, this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now, my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead, and encircle this land with symbols of good. Let holy men call upon the power that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Let our sorrows be our graves, and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth entrapped in this community. Return for your reward after we have all departed for a better life. Signed, Kolyan Enderovich, Burgomaster. You all had attempted to leave and head back for the city of Daggerford. Wedrock, realizing that this land was entirely wrong and should not exist in this part of the country, having run his liquor through these parts for quite some time, he found the mountains and the woods to be entirely out of place and is entirely unfamiliar with a village called Barovia in a land called Barovia. You tried to turn back, only to find that the fog that had previously surrounded you stung and burned at the skin and prevented you from moving forward towards where Daggerford used to be. Having had to make staves against your constitution pushing through it, you all turned back and headed inwards through the gates. While investigating the body of the young man bearing Kolyan Andierovich's letter, the howls of wolves surrounded you, and eventually the party found themselves surrounded by wolves themselves. Large dire wolves pounced upon you, and through sheer luck and will, you were able to fend them off and defeat your foes. Wounded.
From sheer luck.
Wounded and somewhat worse for the wear, we find you all here now. It took you about half a day or longer to reach the gates, and then some time further to investigate the body. It's now probably 4 or 5 o'clock in the eve, and quiet somewhat outside of the gates. The woods surround you. You've traveled maybe a little bit further down the way, and the trail wagon path seems to wind onward through the woods. You've not heard or seen a soul since you have passed through these areas. About 5 o'clock, the sun never really seemed to rise as the skies are entirely overcast, almost oppressive, pushing down on you. The air is thick, hard to breathe, with sort of a foul, stale taste to it almost. You very senses and sight and scent and touch just seem sort of muffled and distant as you sort of are passing through this area. On the outsides here, you were able to easily see the footprints of what looks like large, two-legged standing wolf creatures heading onwards down the trail. That's where we find you guys now. What do you do? I'll turn first to maybe to Urgoth McCoy, who is sort of a druid and familiar with lands and animals, as you have just been struck by these wolves, which I'm not sure what Urgoth's a very animal-forward individual. His feelings on this encounter that he just had.
I would like to investigate
Sure.
these creatures that seem to be familiar and unfamiliar all at the same time.
Sure. Roll me investigation.
Okay. And that was investigation?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay. Oof.
Okay. With an 8. You can tell that these are abnormally sized for wolves. They're big. They're bigger than they should be. And they're tougher than they should be. Like, bite and teeth are nastier. And It's unlike wolf behavior.
Yeah.
You can't say if they were, other than to say this is unlike regular wolf behavior. Like regular wolf behavior would be to try to single out a weak individual and separate it from the pack or from their party, kill it and drag it off and eat it, as prey. These didn't behave like normal wolves do. But that's
This
all you can.
craftsmanship is too fine for wolves. It's not up to dwarven quality, but it's up there.
Yeah.
That was something we found out last time too.
Yes. The stoneworking is a fine quality.
Yeah.
And it's definitely the statues depicted humans. Conquering kings, in fact, is what or conquering warlords. In fact, that's what Bert Beasley was able to determine. And in fact, Bert, you crit on that history check for stoneworking. So I think it sort of comes to you. This is way before your time. But you remember learning histories about an ancient kingdom that far away, like on the other side of the globe from where you're at in Faerun, that had a conquering prince. And all you can remember of this sort of legend is there's a conquering prince that conquered the kingdom, and it fell in, legends sort of say it fell into darkness and was lost. And
If
the
statues
art
are
to,
yeah,
to
go
Bert
ahead.
is the art to Bert is reminiscent of that part of the world.
Yeah. If what I think is depicted in these statues is true, I don't know, the Far Eastern kings of old.
Yeah, that's what.
This is something that we really don't have our bearings to go walking in here. I never thought I'd see something like this in person.
So yeah, it's getting late towards 4 or 5 o'clock.
I'm working on a voice. I'll do a voice at some point.
All right. What does Bert Beasley think? You're muted or something, Skylar.
Oops, sorry, I was blowing my nose earlier. I didn't think you guys wanted to hear that.
No, that's okay. We'll cut that out of the podcast.
In character, that would be.
Oh, Bert Beasley would certainly blow his nose very loudly in a silken handkerchief.
Almost a musical quality.
Yeah.
It's getting late, and the things are sort of damp and wet and cold. What does Bert think?
Bert Beasley, remembers that body that I believe we ended up burning previously.
You did.
And he'd like to do maybe if it's possible, looking at the bodies of the dire wolves, maybe a medicine check. As an insurance man, often he has to look at bodies.
Sure.
So he'd like to see if it's caused by the dire wolves, or if it was maybe larger or smaller wounds, or
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So you're looking at the burned body to look at its wounds, what's left of it, or you're looking at okay.
No, at the did it not send? It did send it. Not a great roll.
So you're looking at the dire wolves to sort of get an idea of
like the size of the fangs in relation to the the wounds we had seen.
Yeah,
previously.
The wounds you'd seen. Gotcha. I didn't get your roll. Can you tell me what it was? It didn't cross.
Oh, it's over there now. It's an 8.
That is Ergoth's roll. Unless you also rolled
Ergoth. You are not Ergoth.
I don't know. On my screen it shows that I rolled an 8.
Maybe
that's me.
Well, I will trust your 8 because why would you lie about an 8?
Yeah.
This is a long game, son. Don't you know that he's an
Insurance man, these wounds seem the wounds you remember seem reasonable for the size of the teeth of these direwolves' claws. So you would assume, yes, the body was killed by these wolves.
Feels strange that we were so quick to assume werewolves instead of direwolves.
I mean, a
Well-
wolf's a wolf. That's what I always say. In the
Well-
insurance business, anyway, they're not really categorized under, different things. Wolves, dire wolves, werewolves. It's a safe space on the insurance farm. It's just,
Are
wolves in general.
direwolves natural to this area?
Well, you're not super familiar with this area.
Right.
I'll
would
I'll
be asking someone, probably not God, but if you want to play that.
I'll give you this wet rock. To the area that you're familiar with, which would be outside of Daggerford, several miles outside of Daggerford to the west, there should be no direwolves.
Okay.
Hmm.
So where the hell do these direwolves in this ancient stonecrafting? Why the hell are they out here in the middle of this forest for no reason? And no one in the town knows anything about anything other than werewolves. This didn't just appear out of nowhere. This is very strange indeed.
That certainly is strange.
As you sort of have been waiting or sitting around sort of talking and discussing it,
Wait.
the sun is beginning to set. It's approaching 5:30, 6 o'clock, and sun is starting to go down.
Well, would we like to take a rest here this evening?
Well, there is, since there's this wall, I wonder if we are close to some sort of village or habitation, because making camp in the middle of these woods concerns me a little bit. And if there's still a little bit of daylight, maybe we could make it to
What if we made
safer territory.
What if
We
we
should
made
press
camp
forward.
atop one of the turrets here? There's no one here. What if we saw if we could get in on top of that wall by one of those trees? And
I think
Bert
we learned that
Beasley
there-
sleeps on top of no wall.
what? All right. Well, maybe it's just me. I like to look up at the stars. And there's no safer place in all these woods. I almost feel certain.
This is what the gates look like.
Yeah. So see all that vegetation up to the elbow area of our stately headless garrison there. I think we're all spry, much more spry than.
It's up to you guys. Make camp here, try to climb up to a elevation and make camp, or try to move through dusk and dark to try to find near civilization.
Maybe press forward a bit. Bogamo Cole's not climbing up a giant statue.
Bogmo, of course.
That's very tall. I don't even come up to the ankles on that thing.
All right. I'm amenable.
All right. You guys press on down the roadway.
Sorry. I'm amenable. I'm going to do something in the line of like a Grunkle stand for here.
You're basically Pappy Van Winkle.
The original.
You guys press on down the roadway a little bit. You don't really need anybody to lead you as you're sort of following the pathway, but the going gets harder and darker as you go, and catching your footsteps. You've been traveling for maybe half a mile, and it's now dark.
When you say the going gets harder, do you mean like our visibility is just decreased?
Yeah, your visibility is decreased.
It's walking becoming more treacherous.
The trail is rutted out, So,
Ah.
like, catching your footstep is a little bit harder. You occasionally will step in puddles and stuff.
Yeah, trying
And
to avoid getting sucked into the mud pit. Gotcha.
yeah, it's just getting sort of hard to move on forward.
Do you remember this mud coming in? He asked.
I think we're going the other way, right? We're continuing
Yeah,
on through
you're
the
continuing. You're
Sorry,
continuing
I thought
on.
we turned around. I forgot that we went through the gate and then we just went back.
Right now, you're sort of looking forward for some sort of civilization.
Right.
The woods sort of open up a little bit as you pass on after about an hour, and there is a clearing where the woods have sort of abated just a bit, and you hear the sound of running water in the distance. What sounds like a river embankment to your like to your left a ways. It's still quite dark, and now there's sort of you can see against the horizon sort of rolling hills, but no obvious civilization as far as you can see from sort of where you're at.
Well, I always say where there's water, there's people.
And I always say, where there's running water, there's moonshine. Don't mind if we park over here for a minute?
Sure. I mean, I think I'd like to. Maybe we should follow the river.
So are you breaking off of the trail and towards the river?
I am for sure, and I'm trying to find a spot to dig it. I need to find a place to dig out a thump keg.
Okay. You're able, as you sort of head off the trailwise, about a quarter mile. In fact, you can see the trail sort of in the distance. You come to a river that seems to be flowing. What way is it flowing? It's flowing opposite direction from where you're sort of headed, into deeper back into the woods. And as you sort of follow it along, are you sort of making camp at the river or trying to follow the river?
Me, I'm trying to find a good place to dig out a little irrigation trench so I can set my thump keg and do up a batch while we're here.
So you're gonna start distilling?
Yes. It should take about 4 days.
If you're gonna start that, yeah, you're able to do that. That would be right by the edge of the river where you found it.
Awesome.
So Wet Rock wants to start digging out a hole right here by the river's edge. What's everybody else doing? Are y'all gonna make camp for the night then?
I guess we're
we'll
making
make
camp.
Wet Rock is starting digging a hole.
It's either that or we leave Wet Rock to his devices.
I'll catch up later.
I guess we're making camp.
I'll catch up later if you guys want to press on. It's just
we don't know which direction to go. So.
Unsupervised ground.
All right, you're on a wagon trail. You finally broke out of the woods and heard the sound of water. Broke off the wagon trail, went to the water, and then just started digging a hole.
Immediately started digging an irrigation trench. Yep.
All right.
Is this really what we, not to hate on your love of alcohol, who doesn't love a stiff drink?
Well, I'm a businessman.
Particularly
I need another one after how y'all are playing this game.
I'm a businessman. I need to sell my wares. I've paid for everything on this trip so far. You think this money just comes from nothing?
You got 200.
Is an area full of werewolves and dire wolves really the best place to be brewing? Does the danger give it an extra
400
flavor?
miles
all right,
with a silver axe?
All right.
No, it's fine. I'll quit. I'll pack up and leave. And
Y'all
glory.
are making camp. Who's taking watch?
I'll take first
I assume
watch.
you're taking watches.
Yeah. I'll take first watch.
First watch is to the orc. Who's got 2? Bagmo's 1.
I'll do 2.
Urgoth is 2.
I'll go last.
So,
Okay.
do I not go third? I can go third.
You would be third, Wet Rock.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be the right spot in my my distilling process too, for me to take a break and pay attention to the surroundings.
Bagmo. Your shift goes without event. Who's number 2?
That would be me.
Urgoth, your shift goes without event. Number 3
I feel like
is Wet Rock. Your shift goes without event. Man, you guys are getting lucky rolls. I rolled less than 10 every time on my D20.
Nice.
And last but not least, Bert Beasley, your shift goes without event. The morning comes. Everybody has had a long rest.
Yep.
Hey.
You guys can mark a long rest.
Right. Okay, the distilling is done. I can carry what I've got here and age it on my back.
All right. Here's how I'm gonna rule on your liquor distilling. You're gonna have to roll. You're not just gonna tell me how much liquor you distilled.
Okay.
Roll me a D20 plus 2.
Okay.
At D20 plus 2.
I might just do that in roll 20 then.
However you want to do it. D20 plus 2.
20 plus 2. Oh wait.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Oh wait.
No, that's
2D20.
2D20s. Sorry.
So you rolled a 10. You just were able to distill yourself a pint.
Okay. All right. That's good enough. That's good enough for growing. And then so I fill in my trench. Just
the morning
dump keg.
The morning comes
leave it
and
like I found it.
The morning comes and I will describe your surroundings. There is a slower moving river that seems to be flowing off to what you would presume to be the east, back towards the woods. And you can see in the distance to your north, about a quarter of a mile or so, is the wagon trail that you were on previously. Following the river on, as you sort of look, the ground becomes swampy, marshy, and almost like a large wetland as the river sort of branches into sort of multiple sloughs and I don't know what to call it. Where the river sort of branches into like almost delta-like
Tributaries.
area. Yeah, where it becomes very swampy directly following the river on westward.
Oh, tributaries. That's another word.
Yeah. You're able to sort of see that easier in the daylight, is that further west along the river becomes a swamp. And you're able to see the road back north about a quarter of a mile. And you can see where it broke out of the woods. And you're sort of in this clearing area. As you look onwards along the road, everybody roll me a perception check.
Yeah.
5, 17, 11. Mm. 21. Wet Rock and Bagmo. You're able to see in the distance to the northwest, slight smoke rising over the horizon. And now in the light of day, you're able to see a large mountain that is looming in the distance of the northwest. And against the horizon, you see a castle-like structure overlooking the ground, overlooking the entire valley that you are in, and smoke on the horizon, just sort of out of your view to the northwest. As if some sort of settlement that you were not able to see in the evening.
Well, I guess we follow the road because it kind of goes north.
Yeah, the road sort of heads in the northwest direction
Mm-hmm.
towards this.
Towards the settlement.
Yeah, there's like smoke in the distance of some sort, and
Where there's trouble, we must go.
And a large looming mountain with a quite ominous-looking castle overlooking the entire valley.
Nice.
Okay. You guys head onwards down the road, and eventually you come to what look like some ramshackle buildings start to appear. Most of them are sort of beginning to be boarded up as you come into what looks like a town. The sky is entirely gray and overcast. And again, it feels just oppressive. And I'm going to take you there in just a moment. The road becomes more gravel, and it leads to a village. Tall houses there. They're as dark as tombstones. Nestled amongst these solemn dwellings are a handful of closed-up shops. You pass by a tavern that is shuttered tight. As you're sort of walking along this area, there's a soft whimpering that draws your eyes towards a pair of children that are standing in the middle of an otherwise lifeless street. There's a girl and a boy there. And the little boy is holding what looks like a teddy bear. And the little boy looks like he's about 5 or 6. And the girl looks like she's about 9, 12, slightly older. She seems to be shushing him and trying to comfort him. I'm going to take you there now. You guys are here. There. The little boy is crying. The little girl is trying to comfort him and shushing him. What do you do, Wet Rock?
Well, Balgama is going to go minister to these children, despite being a giant green lady with a charisma of 8. She is sure that she can handle this.
The little girl looks a little bit frightened of you as you approach her. What do you say?
I sort of squat down a bit, so more eye level. I'm like, children, hi.
She holds back some tears and she says, There's a monster in our house. Can you help us?
Definitely.
She says, our baby brother Walter is in the 3rd floor nursery. And the little boy sort of starts crying, and she pulls him into like her shoulder. And she says, I won't go back in there.
Where are your parents?
She says, they're in the house. I don't know if they're okay. They keep the monster trapped up in the basement.
Okay. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like, but I've heard its terrible howls. I won't go back in. Our baby brother Walter.
Don't worry. We'll go back in.
She looks over at you and says, Thank you. My name is Rose. And this is my brother Thornwald.
You're welcome, Rose. And don't shush his tears. He needs to cry. Let him.
He just starts bawling.
Bert Beasley strolls forward. He's a grandfather himself, so these poor children really tugs at his heartstrings.
Mm.
And he comes over and he pulls out a golden coin and does the old coin from out of your ear trick.
The little boy are you doing it the little boy or the little girl?
Ooh, the little boy. Girls don't need money, is what Bert Beasley thinks. He's somewhat of a old sexist. So yeah.
Yeah, they Thorn sort of stops crying a little bit and smiles just a little bit, and Rose, whose name is Rosvelda, looks over at you and she says, "Thank you, mister."
Oh, of course, keep it. Buy yourself some candy. But we do have more questions about this monster. You said your parents are still inside. What about the rest of this town? Have you lived here your whole lives? Is this where you grew up?
They nod.
And are there other people in this town, or is there anyone else here?
She says there are.
Where are they? We haven't seen anyone. Just the two of you out here on your own.
And all these goddamn birds.
Yeah, she says, there are not many. They live in the rest of town. Please help us. Please, Walter may die. Help us.
Is there a reveal magic scroll or
It's like a spell or ability.
perception? Sorry. Can I do perception to make sure that I want to see if we're being hoodwinked?
Yeah. Roll perception.
Perception. Oh boy.
You don't detect anything obvious.
All right. He's going to run over towards that gate then.
Okay.
Because he hates seeing these kids being so upset.
Okay.
He's a big old softy, even though he's, a drunk businessman.
Yeah. Whitrock.
Gives him the pint on his way in.
Whitrock, as you run over, there's a wrought iron gate on hinges on one side and a lock on the other that fills the archway of a stone portico. The gate is unlocked, and its rusty hinges shriek when the gate is opened. There are oil lamps hanging from the portico by ceiling chains, flanking a set of oaken doors that open into a foyer.
Could we be seeing anything on the screen other than a black background?
Oh my goodness! You should be able to see. You should have vision right here.
We can see I can see the portico.
Yep.
Yeah, you may have to scroll around to get to it.
Zoom out.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Because you should have vision. I fixed all of that.
I don't have anything other than a black screen.
Let me double check you.
I mean, I see where you're clicking.
Oh, shoot.
It's coming out, but it's just black.
Okay, yeah. Hang on. Dadgummit,
Okay.
why did it not do that?
No, I got it now.
Yeah, I had to fix it. All right.
Okay.
So you see that portico. You opening the door, Whitrock?
I think I'm looking at the crew and I'm saying, do or die time.
Okay. You open the door, and the door opens up into a hallway. Hanging on the south wall of the foyer is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms. The hallway is flanked by portraits of what look like stony-faced aristocrats. There are mahogany-filled double doors leading from the foyer onwards.
What do I notice about these people that are that are in these portraits? Can I roll an investigation or perception? An investigation, probably, right?
Yeah, sure.
Or insight?
Yeah, and just perception maybe.
Perception. Okay.
Investigation would be like if you're looking for traps or anything like that. Okay. They have sort of dour faces. The shield, the coat of arms, is emblazoned on a shield. It is a golden windmill on a red field. The portraits have names underneath them, and they all have the last name Durst. So and so Durst, and they all have like titles, like Viscount and whatever else, like some sort of titles of nobility.
I guess I'll roll history to see if any of those ring any, if the Durst name rings any bells. But
I'll just tell you don't.
Okay. Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Okay.
There are mahogany doors there are mahogany doors on the other end.
Well, no, we're already here. We might as well just keep going.
Okay. Everything is sort of dark inside of the house, but it seems to be like well maintained. There's no dust or signs of age. The floorboards and panels are well oiled, and everything is non-faded and relatively new looking. As you enter this area, there's a wide hall that's running the width of the house, and you see a marble fireplace at one end and a sweeping red marble staircase at the other. Mounted on the wall above the fireplace is a long sword with a windmill cameo worked into the hilt, and there are wood panelings ornately sculpted with vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs and things like that worked into the wood paneling inside of this this room. And I'm going to change the audio work up.
Should we collect the valuables for the kids?
Let's not case the place quite yet.
Are you sort of Wet Rock? Are you sort of looking around for valuable things and stuff like that?
Well, I just heard what you said about the mantelpiece and what was over it, the ornate things.
Ornate the sword with a.
If it was, part of their family legacy, I don't want to come in here and not bring out something of value that they can remember their parents by if we find everybody in here dead. But I guess we can catch it on the way out as long as no one else comes behind us and takes it.
Okay. Wet Rock, as you're sort of looking around at valuable things and stuff like that.
I actually don't have, I don't have any ill intent. I'm not trying to thieve this place.
No, not suggesting you are.
Thinking about those kids. I'm kind of obsessed with them, honestly. They're great.
Not suggesting you are, but you're sort of looking at the art and at valuable things. Roll me perception real quick. Wet Rock's rolling a lot of perception. Anybody else that sort of is looking around can roll perception, or if you're just sort of in the room, what's your passive perceptions? Which is 10 plus your modifiers. 10 plus whatever your perception modifier is your passive.
My
passive's 11.
Okay. Those of you that have what's your passive? Bert?
It's an 11.
Okay. Those of you with a 12, Wet Rock, who's looking around, and Bagmo, who has a passive of 12, you notice on the wood paneling, it's ornately carved with vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs. But worked into that is inconspicuously there are skulls and serpents woven into the worked into the wood paneling. There are other doors to the north, and there is a red marble staircase heading upwards.
And this doesn't have anything to do with the sword. It's the most impressive thing in the room is the woodworking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bert Beasley, remembering they said their younger brother was on the 3rd floor, starts to just thunder up the stairs to save this child.
Okay. Is everybody following old Bert?
I guess so. I can't
Yeah.
let Grandpa Bert go alone.
That's right. He's not running up those stairs without me giving chase for no reason other than he's also running.
Okay.
I can't see someone run and then not go in the same direction. So I gotta go.
I'm following, but I'm going to sort of linger a little bit behind because I don't trust this environment, and I want to sort of cover our tail, as it were.
Okay. Okay, tail cover. Bert Beasley, who's in the lead, thundering up the stairs, followed by Bagmo and then Wet Rock. Bert, the stairs come to a landing on the second floor, and they do continue on upwards. Ooh. Thank
Goodness.
you. Soundscape. Yeah. Strange noises. The stairs continue on upwards. But on this first landing that you come to, there are unlit oil lamps mounted on the walls of an elegant hall. Hanging on the mantelpiece above the fireplace is a wood-framed portrait of a family. There's a woman and an adult woman and an adult man with two small children that you recognize as Rose and Thorn. And cradled in the father's arms is a swaddled baby. Are you looking at the portrait or just sort of other things that are in the room? There are standing suits of armor that flank the doors. Sorry, Siri went off and it confused me. Standing suits of armor flank wooden doors in the east and west halls. Each suit is clutching a spear and has a visored helm that's shaped like a wolf's head. The doors to this rooms also have carvings on them.
Bert Beasley remembers they said the child was on the 3rd floor, so he just ignores everything else and continues on ahead.
Agreed. Okay. We're sprinting for that 3rd floor.
All right. Ignoring the portrait or anything like that?
Oh, for sure.
Not looking at anything. I know once Bert starts running,
okay.
Yeah, he's coming with. Like, I mean, he's a good few steps behind, but he's.
We've already been too late to save one kid on this trip, so.
I'm thinking Bagamo's
probably not.
The future premiums, really.
All right, let me get everybody up here, okay? Before y'all do anything.
He's not about to let an insurance man out sentiment him, so.
All right.
I'm not going to be shown up by this suit wearing twerp again.
That's right. So we got sentiment, religion, and cold hard math, all in confluence to save this child. Well, thank God Urgoth is keeping a watch at the foot of the stairs, so at least no one can come in the front door and attack us.
There you go. All right.
What do we do when we need to sneeze? We mute it, right? We just gotta be quick.
That's the usual etiquette. Okay. All right. Bert Beasley, you charge upwards to the 3rd floor. The red marble staircase comes to its full height, and the balcony up here is dusty. It is not maintained at all, and it looks like nobody's been up here in quite a while. There is a suit of black plate armor standing against one wall, draped in cobwebs. There are oil lamps mounted on oak-paneled walls. Again, there are carvings on the walls. And that's what you see at the top of this staircase. There are rooms heading off to the
there are no dead bodies?
Left and right. It's dusty and such.
Do we hear anything?
There's rooms going to the left and the right?
Bert, you should be here. Can you see yourself?
I got it now. Yeah, I don't think I was on the right layer.
Okay. What are you doing as you reach this?
Bert Beasley listens keenly to see if he can hear, what was the child? Wilbert?
Walter.
Walter. To see if he can
Walter,
hear where the
Walter
child
Wilbert.
is.
Walter Wilbert.
You hear not much of anything.
He just calls out the name, Walter. Child, where are you?
Bagmo, as you're standing there, you notice something. You notice something real quick. Roll me perception. We'll see how quickly you notice it. In an instant, it catches your eye. The cobweb-covered suit of black armor seems to move ever so slightly. And it takes a step towards you. Bagmo, you've caught it just instantaneously, Bagmo, with your good perception. What do you do?
I guess it's time to try and get a hit on it. Right?
That's up to you, Bagmo.
Unless Walter is a suit of armor.
Whoops.
Bagmo, you slash an 8, but miss terribly. That's a little loud.
So funnily enough, when we were on the second floor and saw the suits of armor, I was tempted to go like peek in the visor and see if anything was in there.
But we ran past it too quickly, and now you've just attacked the black suit of armor. And so we're all in battle with the black suit of armor, or what has happened?
Yep, it's attack. Everybody, when I give the command, just a moment, I'm going to have you roll initiative. I need to make sure the tracker's clear, and it takes 30 seconds for this thing to load. Because Roll20 is so slow. Gracious, it's still not loaded. Everybody can go ahead and roll initiative, I guess. I'm going to clear it anyway. All right, we got Urgoth and Wet Rock. It did not capture Bert's, so because it took so long to load.
14.
I'm working on it.
It got it on my end anyway.
Yeah, it's just Roll20 is slow. And Bagmo, what was your initiative? 5?
Yep, I guess when I swung at him, I went off balance a bit.
You got a surprise round, basically. All right, Urgoth, you're up first.
Okay. Let's see. Speed's 30, so 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I can get here. So, I am going to give him a stab with my Wickwa.
All right. That is a miss.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. Bert Beasley, you're up.
Bert Beasley pulls out his long sword and makes a mighty single-handed swing.
Okay.
And it probably doesn't
That's
do
a
whole lot
miss.
there.
Wet Rock.
Yes. I'm gonna shoot crossbow at him. I guess I'm gonna kind of do like a little bit of a roll and set up on the elbows so I have a really good shot.
Okay.
But sorry, that was the attack. Sorry. Let me redo.
14 is a miss. Bag mode.
So, let's see. If I move right here, I want to cast Thunder Wave and not hit my peeps.
I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Okay. So it has to make a con save. Oh, it fails. So it's going to take 10 thunder damage. And is it pushed?
Yes. Push 10 feet away.
Okay. I'm going to go with it's pushed to about there. It's going to try to grab the person nearest to it, which is Urgoth. And Urgoth, a 22 to hit.
Yep.
That does 6 bludgeoning damage to you as it smashes at you.
Okay.
And then Urgoth again, a 21 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Does 7 bludgeoning damage, not the crit.
Okay.
You're up, Urgoth. This thing just smashed you.
Okay. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use Burning Hands here on the idea that whatever this is, if there's anything in this, it's in metal. So I want to try to make this as uncomfortable as possible.
Okay.
So let's see. And I'm going to aim it in his direction because it is a cone of effect.
Okay.
And that's going to be 3d6.
Ignore that. I accidentally clicked on something.
Okay.
Way to get that one out of the way.
Okay, so Burning Hands is what, a saving throw?
His hands 15 says cone. It does not say. Oh, it is. It is a deck saving throw.
As I say, it's either a saving throw or a.
Yeah, it's a deck save throw.
Okay, well, I don't care what your save is. It rolled a 5, so it misses, and it takes 10 fire damage. It is fire, right? Yes.
Yes, it is.
All right, Bert Beasley, you're up.
Bert Beasley is a man who doesn't like to think too much and just swings again.
You're running up to it?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
All right, move your token wherever you're going to be. Uh, 18 is a hit. Was that a one-hand or a two-hand? One hand, you're carrying a shield, right?
Yeah, that's always going to be one-handed.
Okay. Wet Rock, you're up.
All right. Does it cost money? It costs money to move, right?
It costs movement.
Yep. I'm gonna move there, and then I'm gonna blast a crossbow shot.
All right.
Uh,
Oh, that's no good.
I know. For some reason in battle. I am absolutely perfect.
It's all the
I'm a
drinking.
businessman, not a businessman. Let's stay out my business. Damn.
All right. Bagmo, you're up.
All right, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Probably not this thing's strong suit. That's a 1.
5 necrotic damage.
All right, Bagmo, describe how you necrotize this thing and destroy it. It's metal. I think it just maybe like rusts and falls apart.
Yeah, I reach out my hand, and the sound of a creepy old bell fills the air, and you all feel a little shiver go down your back. And then it starts to sort of age, and the joints of the armor just sort of fall away. It's a pile on the floor.
And it's now just a pile of black stuff on the ground.
That's that rusty dusty.
Yeah. And
Bert
That's
Beasley
how
gets the
Thanos
sense
did
that
it.
there might not be a small child here after all.
who had the passive perception of 12? That was you, Bagmo?
Mm-hmm.
I also have a passive perception of 12.
Those of you with passive perception of 12 notice as you're up here looking around in the wood paneling, you notice there are tiny corpses hanging from trees and worms bursting up from the ground that are sort of worked into the artwork.
A lot of them? Like they're
Tiny corpses being hung.
This is not how I would decorate the children's wing of my mansion.
I checked those little bastards outside for magical concealment as the best I could and found nothing. It's possible that they have a family that's been killed up here, but what do we do? This is obviously a weird.
There is a door to the north here and a door to the south here. Ooh.
Well, do you guys want to go north or south?
Should we stick together?
It was guarding these doors right here, so maybe check.
The doors it was guarding. That makes sense to Bert Beasley.
Okay, which door are you stepping through here?
This one.
Well, hold on there. You're passing through walls on me.
Sorry. I thought that was a door.
It is. I'll describe what you see in there. Hang on. You open that door, and there are dusty shelves lining this room. A few of them have folded sheets and blankets and old bars of soap on them. There is a cobweb-covered broom against the far wall. Are you going into the room and poking around?
Nah, just a closet.
Oh, a room. I thought you said a broom.
There is a cobweb-covered it is a room with a cobweb-covered broom lying against the far wall.
Are you going into that cobweb-covered broom, Bagmo?
All right, shall we check this next room right here?
For sure. For sure.
Okay.
All right. You open the door to this room to the south. Dust and cobwebs shroud an elegantly appointed bedroom. There's what looks like an adjoining room that would be like a nursery. There are double doors set with panes of stained glass, overlooking what looks like maybe like a balcony. Let me give you a little bit more here. Bedroom contains a large bed, 2 end tables, and a wardrobe. Mounted on the wall next to the wardrobe is a full-length mirror with an ornate wooden frame. There are like gossamer curtains around. The whole area is covered with dust and cobwebs.
Let's check out this nursery. I'm not optimistic. Right here.
Yeah.
Are you opening the door?
Yeah.
You're opening the door to the nursery?
Uh-huh.
How did you do that? You just managed to pass through
don't you just
walls.
walk through?
Yeah, I need to. Yeah. As you do that, Bagmo, something happens. A ghostly visage of a woman appears near the fireplace. She
remembers the kid's name.
Walter.
Yeah.
It's the baby. That's the dead baby. We need to think about them living kids. Was one of them Frank and the other Babadoo?
Rose.
The ghostly image of this woman floats towards you, screeching, and she you hear her ghostly voice howl, "Murderers!" And everybody roll initiative. Gosh.
The battle music's a bit loud again.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Is that better?
I think so.
Oops. Yes, it's better.
Syrinscape turns it up to 11 for like everything. Okay, I need initiatives for Bert Beasley. For some reason, it didn't go into the tracker. You've got a 15. And Bagmo, yours didn't make it on the tracker either. You got a 5. Bagmo's got a 5. Bagmo, what's your dexterity?
It is 10.
10. Okay. The ghost is going to go just before you. All right. Up first is Wet Rock.
I guess. I mean, once you roll initiative in D&D, the fight is on, or is there like a period where we can?
Right now it's moving to attack you. You can do whatever you want, but it's moving to attack you.
We're here on behalf of your children.
Yeah, this is as you sort of look at it, what you see is that this specter is resembling a terrified-looking, skeletally thin woman, and it just seems to be like blubbering, and you made out the word murderers, but nothing else.
Okay, well, here we go. Crossbow at that ass.
Okay. 18 is a hit.
Finally, this is my first hit of the whole campaign.
Now, is this imbued with magic? Is this your weapon that you have artificed?
You know, Jeff, I'm gonna have to be honest. I did not imbue this at my artificing stage. Instead, I imbued my light hammer, which you know,
that's fine.
I'm not within range to
honest. 18 is a hit.
Great. So should I go for a roll?
Yeah, give me the damage. Give me the damage roll.
Get money.
As you slash a chunk at it. Bert Beasley, you're up. You see this ghostly visage of a terrified, skeletally thin woman who's screaming and howling and flying in all of your directions as Bagmo opened the door to the nursery.
Bert Beasley hates the undead in all forms, as it tends to complicate the insurance payout. So he charges forward, and when you know it, swings his one attack with the longsword and misses.
Unfortunately, yes, that is a miss. Urgoth. So Bert, you're right up on the ghost.
Okay, so I am, let's see.
You're at the
5, 10,
door.
15, 20, 25, 30. So I'm gonna get to an angle here where I'm hopefully not going to burn Bert, and I am going to produce flame using cantrip, and then fling it at this ghostly specter.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how this.
And Bert, if I nip you with this, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
No, you can target a
I'm pretty
creature.
done.
This is a creature, so it's like
Yeah.
you're aiming at the thing.
Yeah,
But a 10 is a miss.
got it.
The ghostly visage of the woman grabs Bert Beasley, and she lets out a horrible howl. Does a 10 hit you, Bert?
Oh, not even close.
In your face.
As she tries to drain your life force from you, but you manage to fend off this attack that she's leveled.
Do I need to make a Constitution saving?
Only if
throw?
it hits.
Oh, okay. Then no.
Bagmo, you're up. But I think your blood turns kind of cold as you feel the touch of this spirit, this angry spirit that has grabbed at you.
All right, it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Man, no blood, but the works doesn't work out.
12.
Let's see. What is my spell? I'm not sure what my spell save is. Where is that on this? Oh, so it meets. So I guess it does not take any radiant damage.
Okay. Your spell save DC was 12.
Yeah.
All right. Back up to Wet Rock.
Yeah.
You're up.
I do stuff with my crossbow.
A 6 is a miss, I'm afraid.
Yeah, no. Yep.
Bert Beasley.
He's
just
the
tried to
worst at crossbowing, but yet he always uses that and only that.
Oh, Bert Beasley is just good at one thing, and that's
hacking.
swinging his sword. Oh, he hits.
That's a hit.
And
Bust his ass
11
up.
damage.
Oh, yeah. Feel the pain.
Does Urgoth.
We're here for you. We're no murderers.
Okay, I am going to shoot another flame here.
Okay. That's a hit.
Sweet.
And the fire seems to do more to it than the swords and arrows have done.
Yes.
Creature is going to grab at Bert Beasley again. 12 to hit you, Bert.
Gonna need an 18.
So that's a miss. It manages to not drain your life. Oh man, 16 necrotic damage would have been a nasty, nasty blow.
For certain. For certain.
But you managed to fend that off. Bagmo, you're up. Your Warhammer is a miss.
Mm-hmm.
Wet Rock.
All right, I'm running up on this thing with the silver hammer, and I'm striking.
All right, move your character to wherever you want to go.
Tired of missing. Sorry. Don't know where to. There we are.
No. It's over here.
Yeah, I'm over here.
All right, 18 is a hit.
Well,
And this is the weapon that you've infused magically, right?
Yes.
Did you add you added the +1 into it?
No.
So it's really a 19.
There you go. But it doesn't really matter. It's a hit anyway, right?
It is a hit, but it also does +1 to the damage as well.
Hell yeah. 6 damage.
So it's 6 bludgeoning damage. As you strike it with the magical hammer, the spirit fades away and vanishes into the air.
Guys, I don't know how cut out you guys are for sprinting, but I say we get the hell out of here and go see if we can find those kids. This ain't what we thought it was.
I just want to go check out the nursery real quick.
Oh yeah, I don't think those kids are who they said they were. Because
Yep,
this house is old and full of ghosts.
Wet Rock collapses onto his knees and starts crying. You can't take it.
Okay. As you sort of open up the nursery suite, it contains a crib with a hanging black shroud.
Oh no.
Those kids were lying.
Do you part the shroud?
Yes.
Inside of the crib parted the shroud is a baby-sized bundle lying in the crib.
Can I sense how long it's been dead? Let me do a medicine trip.
You don't feel anything there at all. Are you unwrapping it?
I guess. Just a little.
Okay.
Not in a disrespectful way.
You find nothing inside it. Nothing.
Is there anything else in the room?
No.
Are we looking at a situation of pure swaddling clothes?
Just swaddling was there.
And you said these doors are to the balcony?
Yeah, there's like an outdoor balcony there.
If I step out on the balcony, would I be able to see the kids?
Yeah, you'd overlook the area. Are you stepping
Okay.
out there?
Yeah. Do I see them down there?
As you do, you find you see nothing but fog. In fact, the fog has become so dense that it is the same fog that you had previously seen. It is oppressing and pushing on you as you open the doors. You can't see the street below at all. And in fact, make me a Constitution saving throw.
All of us? Or just...
No, just her. You managed to fight off the feeling of it pushing against your very being, but it stings and burns, and it's hard to push further forward.
I hate frosting. Ooh.
I mean, I guess now my best option is to go back inside the haunted house.
Did you tell us anything that you saw, or?
She couldn't see anything, just oppressive fog surrounding everything.
I come in gasping for air.
Yeah, basically.
Wet Rock. Those kids were lying. We need to get the hell out of here.
Well, there's a lot more house to explore.
Okay, now I feel we can loot this damn house in clear conscience. Is there anything in the wardrobe?
Roll me perception.
What are you doing? I just want to make whiskey. What is happening here?
Everybody roll perception then. You notice nothing in the wardrobe. The wardrobe is empty. As you're sort of all looking around and taking stock of your surroundings. Wet Rock, right where you're at, Wet Rock. Right where Wet Rock is at, you see there's a little crack in the wall that is somewhat abnormal, and
I
you're
hit
able
it
to sort
with
of
my-
like
I hit it with
dig
my hammer.
your. Yeah, you hit it with your hammer.
Yeah.
Right.
As you do
Amelia's
that,
fussing again.
a door opens.
Oh, okay. I don't need to roll for that one.
Nope.
Okay.
You hit it with your hammer. You already rolled it with your perception check.
Okay.
It was a DC 12 to notice the crack in the wall. A door opens in the wall that wasn't there previously into a small hallway with a set of sort of dank wooden steps that are heading upwards into like an attic-y kind of area.
He's like, those kids were lying. Ah! And then he runs down the stairs.
They're going up from where you're at. There's no
Sorry,
downstairs
up the
here.
stairs. Up the stairs.
You're going up the stairs?
Yeah, he's in hysterics. He's emotionally flamboyant, I guess.
So what Rock find?
Wet Rock, looking around, found a small crack in the wall. He hit it with his hammer, and it opened up a secret door in the wall with a set of steps that are going upwards. And Wet Rock climbed,
Immediately ran them. Yep.
ran up
climbed.
the steps.
Okay, are we following? I guess so.
What else is there to do?
There's
All
a
right.
screaming dwarf running upstairs. He's in hysterics.
All right, hold on. I'll take you there. Wet Rock. The stairs lead upwards and round a corner. You guys are over here on this portion of the map now. And I'll open up the door here real quick. Change this so you can't pass through doors that aren't open. All right, give me just a moment and I will describe the scene to you. The doors open into a sort of an empty looking hall that is choked with dust and cobwebs. There's a door in front of you that has a padlock on it that is locked tight shut. And there, down this hallway over here, there is a door to your immediate south, and then two other doors here and here around the bend of the hall.
I mean, I assume the padlock is where the good stuff is,
Oh, for
or the
sure.
bad stuff.
Usually.
It is locked up tight.
If only we had that youth who likes to hang out on Hot Topic with us here.
Right. Should I try to strike the lock with my magically imbued hammer?
You sure can.
You said that locked door was on the south side, or is
The
it
locked,
up
the locked door is this one right here.
Yeah, okay. Then I'll hit it with my hammer.
Make me an attack roll.
An attack. Okay, so we got to see if I pass them.
Yeah. You smash the lock or not? You make a hit with a 13.
It's plus 1.
14. Roll the damage.
Okay.
After this is over, somebody can show him how to do that in D&D Beyond, how to add plus 1.
Plus 1.
Yeah.
So
5 bludgeoning damage. With 5 bludgeoning damage, the lock is old, and it snaps off and breaks open. Opening the door?
Opening the door.
Okay.
He's
As you
not.
open the,
He's not
as you-
screaming anymore. He's sniffling.
Yeah.
But he's got his composure.
All right, sniffling Wet Rock. As you open the door, the room contains a bricked-up window flanked by 2 dusty wood-framed beds sized for children. Closer to the door is a toy chest with windmills painted on its side, and a dollhouse that is a perfect replica of the dreary edifice in which you stand. These furnishings are draped with cobwebs. Lying in the middle of the floor are 2 small skeletons, wearing tattered but familiar clothing. The smaller of the 2 cradles a stuffed doll that you immediately recognize.
We found our kid.
Which was held by Thorn, standing outside. The body of a young girl, about age 9 or 12, and the body of a young boy, skeletal body of a young boy, holding the skeleton,
Our kids.
holding the teddy bear.
Well,
as you enter the room, one moment. Yeah, that's what you see.
I think
There's a dollhouse. There's a toy chest here and a dollhouse here. The dollhouse is a replica of this house.
Right. I think we found the kids. We can either bust out this window and see what we can see, or look at this model of the house that looks to be a replica and see if there's something that we might want to be exploring.
I'm going to cover the children's skeletons with a blanket
Bert Beasley wants
and say a few words.
To look at the kids before you do that, to see if he can tell how long they've been dead.
Hey, Bert.
Wow, he really should have paid more attention. And that was the first one, a 6. I don't know
6.
why I doubled rolled.
They've been dead for some time.
Sometime.
Some long period of time. You said you were looking at the dollhouse, Wet Rock?
Yeah.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
As you start to investigate the dollhouse, rising up from the 2 bodies are 2 ghostly figures.
I turn to him and I say, "Why did you trick us?"
And they say, they just sort of look confused at you, and they say, the girl says, "Leave my dollhouse."
I'm not interested in the dollhouse. I'm interested in you.
We didn't trick you.
I saw a girl and a boy holding that same doll down on the street, and they asked us to come inside to save their parents and their little brother. Everybody in here is dead. I feel like we've been tricked.
Don't leave us.
Do you need help? Do you need us to do something for you so you can move on?
They just, the little girl says, "Don't leave."
We're not going anywhere.
And the little boy is crying. And they say, the little girl says, "Our parents locked us in here to protect us from the monster. We
Wolf?
died of the hungers."
Was it a wolf or a vampire?
They don't know. They don't know.
Monster.
We died of the hungers.
Wow.
There's a monster in the basement.
Where's your mother and father's room?
They don't answer. They point at the dollhouse.
Is it okay if I take a look?
Yes.
Investigation.
Yeah. You look at the dollhouse, and she's able to point to a room on the 2nd floor that is mother and father's room.
We're on the 3rd floor now.
You're in the attic. Would be the 4th floor.
Oh, yeah.
And she says, yeah, basically they locked them in there to protect them from the monster in the basement.
Well, do you guys want to go to the basement and see this monster, or should we go to the parents' room and see what we might learn?
Kind of just, there's a couple other doors around here. So just
Want to
kinda
explore
open
the rest of
them
the
all up.
attic first?
Yeah.
Don't leave.
We're gonna take care of the monster.
You
just
can't go.
wait here.
I'll stay.
No.
I'll stay with you.
She seems placated by that, by you staying.
Bert Beasley wants
Can
to
you
open
come
the
with
door
us?
down here.
She looks over at you, and she comes up to you. She sort of floats over to you. And roll me a charisma saving throw.
Oh, Jesus.
Her ghostly body floats into you, and you are possessed by Rosvalda Durst.
Oh, no.
She, you can feel her sort of inside you, and you know what Rose knows, and Rose sort of tells you the way into the basement is through a secret door here in the attic. You gain the following flaw. I like to be in charge and get angry when other people tell me what to do.
Shall I stay here with your brother? Or can he come along with me?
He moves over and roll me a charisma saving throw.
Looking for it. Sorry. Where is it? Oh yeah. See it.
I mean, he's going to try to possess you.
Yeah.
You're able to fend it off. If you're resisting it, yeah, you're able to fend it off a little bit. And
Maybe I ask him, do you have to travel with me this way?
he won't leave. He's basically just wants you to stay here. But you're able to back away.
I say okay. I'll stay with him.
We can't split the party, though. That's very
Mm.
bad.
Oh, they say that?
He's already failed his attempt to possess you, so you're able to like move away.
Okay. So we'll have to leave the brother here then. My
right.
brother can't stand to go without me. I don't want to split
as you sort of move back, he sort of fades away, and the little body is left there. Bagmo, roll me a insight check. Or maybe religion, not insight. I guess religion. Because you asked, like, anything to put you at peace. Maybe a proper burial, but other than that, you don't know.
Maybe I go back and I put the bones of both of them in my backpack.
Okay, you pack up the bodies?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, where's the secret door that I know about?
You know that it is in this room over here.
Well, nowhere to go
In the
but
storage
in that
room. Yeah, let me open the door for you all. It's a dusty chamber packed with old furniture, coat racks, standing mirrors, and dress mannequins shaped like dusty sheets. There's an iron stove underneath one of the sheets and a wooden trunk in the corner of the room.
I'm looking at the trunk.
Okay. You open the trunk. Inside of the trunk is the skeletal remains of a young woman, wrapped in a tattered bedsheet that is stained in blood.
I want to try to find the passageway to the basement by hitting my hammer on the floor. Seeing if I can feel where there might be an open spot.
Bagmo knows where it is, but you're able to.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. All right. Where's the door?
Bagmo knows where it is from Rose's knowledge that's possessing her right now, and the door is there, and you're able to open it up into a spiral staircase that heads downwards.
What is the ghost's name that is possessing Bagmo?
Rosvalda.
Rosvalda. Okay. Rosvalda, is it through here?
No, the door's over here.
Okay.
Thanks, Albert. Yeah, you found the body of a young woman wrapped in blood-stained sheets inside of that trunk. That the remains bear a resemblance to the ghostly visage that previously you encountered. And, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is as good a place as any to end it for the night.
All right.
Who would have seen getting possessed by the ghost of a child?
Spooky.
I mean, if it would happen to anyone, it would happen to Bagamo.
That's right.
Probably true.
She's open to that sort of thing, the spiritual connection.
I hope everybody had a good time this evening.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry I forced that brewing side mission, but we might need some more cash.
You might need alcohol.
And we might need alcohol. So you never know.
Well, this is a very creepy house, and I'm sure we will uncover yet more creepiness next week.
No, we have to find out next week on parents who starved their children to death in an occult house.
They meant well.
House.
They thought they'd be right back.
Yeah.
They meant well.
They still love their parents, even though they killed them. R.I.P. Them chillins.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Well,
That note. Good night.